Hi guys, this is Jim the Life Coach. This is a new journey. This is from a friend of mine called Armani. She has set up her own business, so we're going to be talking a bit about that. And she'll be doing some more sections as well. She'll be doing a life journey soon at some point, and she'll be doing some other bits and pieces. So if you want to be a part of the podcast and you want to get involved, then you can email me on gmthelifecoach336@gmail.com. Again, that's gmthelifecoach336@gmail.com. All right. Make sure you holler. You can get involved in the show. Let me know what you like, what you dislike, what you like to change. If you'd like to get somebody in or on it or whatever, do let me know. We've got some great content coming. So, holler up when you can, okay? Okay, here we go. This is Armani's business journey.
GM, the life coach.
Hi guys, this is GM the Life Coach. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Armani, who has her own company. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself. How you doing? You alright?
I'm good.
Okay, good. So let the listening public hear about you. Introduce yourself.
So my name's Armani. I am a yoga instructor, wellness facilitator, and I am the founder of Project Yogi, which is a not-for-profit, and we do yoga and mindfulness-based programs for young people.
Oh, good. Okay. So what made you start Project Yogi?
Well, I had taken a yoga certification, Egyptian yoga or Smai Tawi, back in 2014, and I had actually been practicing yoga for maybe 5 years before that, on and off.
Yeah.
And I was also working in school teaching, and I got a lot out of my training, and I feel that after that I felt that I was quite consistent in practicing yoga, and I realised a lot about myself, and I feel like I got a lot of benefits from it, and I just thought that the young people that I work with could really benefit from doing the same practices, or understanding and learning about those practices. And that is really why I set it up. So I did some additional training after that. So I did certificate to train teens, and since then I've done certificate to train younger children and certificate in mindfulness and so on. So yeah.
So what can you say that you gained from doing like yoga yourself?
I think I gained more of an understanding of myself, because you can learn quite a lot. I think now everybody can probably go onto social media and they see like a lot of people doing yoga, and it might look good, like, you know, they're able to do all these different poses, and that is really just one element of yoga. That is not what yoga actually is. You know, there's a lot more depth to it, and it's, you know, it's a lot about understanding yourself. All
right. So, what is mindfulness? Because I know some listeners might not know what that is. They probably maybe heard the term but not exactly know what it is.
Yeah, I think it's quite a buzzword now that a lot of people hear, and in a way it's a good thing because it's getting more people to kind of learn about it. And it's really just about being in the now, in the present time.
Right.
Because I suppose we don't always live in the now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we're always on the go, we're in a rush, we're doing this, we're working, everybody's, you know, wants to, I don't know, look after, maybe they've got the family to look after and work to do, or they've got issues that they've had in the past, or things that have happened in the past, or they're thinking about things that's going to happen, you know, next week, next year, 5 years time, and we don't just stop and really just appreciate the present time, the present moment.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily grateful for now. It's always, oh, why haven't I got this? Why did this happen? Oh, I want this. Instead of just stopping. And not only that, just your day to day, like, you might have a lot to do in a day and not, you're just thinking ahead, I've got this to do and, this is late, I should have done that for work. And you really just don't stop and take a breath and just pause,
it's
really.
about slowing you down,
yeah,
basically. Yeah,
exactly.
Is it akin to meditation or?
Yeah, it's an element. I always see it as I don't know about other people, but I always see it as something that kind of is a step towards meditation, because in meditation it's all about the now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing else but the present moment. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I see it as like little steps to kind of get you to that place.
It's nice. So you target your audience for young people, yeah? Why did you not go to the adult market and more focus on the youths?
I think it's like my background of working with young people, and that was the main thing. And I think maybe, I don't know, it's kind of like a passion, I suppose, of mine, like giving back to the next generation, giving them the tools that they kind of need to help themselves. And because I've kind of come from that background of working with like teens and young children, and that's just where my mind went. It wasn't that I didn't want to teach adults. You can, if people do. That's and when I first started, that was kind of like the end of 2014, beginning of 2015, really. There wasn't much around for yoga for young people, yoga for teenagers, and especially not in the Black community, because really when I set up, they're mainly the type of young people that I work with, and I didn't see that. A lot of them don't even know what yoga is. Black community, adults in the Black community weren't really interested in practicing yoga or even hearing about it. So as I said, it was just where I knew what I got from it. I kind of wanted to teach others, and it's not for a specific race of people, although that's what might come across, because you might see that a lot in the media. We're not really represented in a lot of different wellness spaces, so a lot of people might think, oh well, that's not for me. But actually, when you go and research, although some people may try and argue, that yoga was actually being practiced in Africa thousands of years ago, and there is a link between Africa and India. That's a whole different conversation.
You can get to it if you want to.
Yeah, that's for another time.
Fair enough.
So yeah, it was something that we practiced. Wasn't necessarily called the same, wasn't necessarily exactly the same, but the principles are exactly the same. The outcome is exactly the same. So yeah.
All right. So I worked in education, and I still work in education, I say. And I know that yoga would really suit the kids that I work with, and they're from like an SEM background as the kids I work with now. What kind of things do you think it would help for young people?
So first and foremost is, it's a combination. So I teach a combination of different. So it's not just standard yoga that you might practice going to an adult class in the evening. Because I've come from a kind of teaching or educational background, I've kind of modified it to where I think it, young people are able to relate and engage with it. So I actually deliver different types of programs, and that's why I say it's yoga mindfulness based, because sometimes it may just be around well-being, and they're just learning about different parts of yoga or mindfulness, and it may include other topics as well.
So what is it? What does it help? What could it help them benefit from? Like in terms of like maybe them being in the classroom.
Yeah, so definitely things like focus and concentration. Regulating their own behaviour.
It's very important.
Exactly. Over time, helping to build up resilience. And then on the yoga side, obviously, physical movement, fitness. There's so many benefits that, you know, they're just some that are coming to mind, you know, that I'm thinking of in the classroom. How can it help? Definitely focus. Might actually help them motivate them a little bit more. And also to build up a bit of confidence.
A bit of sense of self.
Exactly.
Which is lacking
exactly. So those are kind of the main things that I kind of try and work with. So they're some of our main outcomes from some of the programs that we deliver. So we've done things, or we have programs like mindful literacy program, which it doesn't involve yoga, but it does involve mindfulness, and again it's to kind of help them relax, open their mind. We do different types of kind of activities, and then, you know, once they're kind of relaxed and open and, you know, have a different maybe different kind of idea or outlook about work in the classroom, kind of allows them to be a little more confident, you know, sitting in small groups. Might feel a little bit more comfortable reading or asking questions where they might not feel like that in the classroom for whatever reason. You know, so yeah, we do mindful literacy. We've got general mindfulness program, well-being program that I mentioned before, which is called Be Well, and that's a combination of things again to kind of help with self-esteem, self-development, increase motivation. You know, even includes things like understanding healthier lifestyle, learning about nutrition and healthy eating. It really depends, because actually schools can tailor it to their own needs. So if there's some modules that they don't want, can take those out, and we could focus on, you know, the main ones that they do want.
So you basically focus your business at schools then, you know?
Yeah, this year in particular, it's been focused on schools, whereas previously we've done a lot of community work, which we still do. So we still work with youth organisations and charities that are based in the community. But you know, we've done things in the past like mother and toddler and family yoga. And what I was finding, that it was quite hard to target teenagers outside of school, because yoga was not the thing that they wanted to come to. You know, you might hear them say, exactly. They might want to go to like dance or football or something that, you know what I mean. Yoga, not so much. So that's why I've kind of focused more on schools this year, because it's easy to kind of get in and work with them because they're already there. But I can see that it has changed a lot from when I first started. So when I first started, a lot of them were like, you know, no, I'm not really interested, or what's yoga? It's not for me. We don't do yoga. And now, like, they're really eager. They want to do it. They've heard a lot about it. They want to try it. So yeah, you can see that it's changed a lot in just a few years. So, which is good.
Oh, well done. So how long have you been doing it now?
So since 2015. But it's really, I started at the end of 2014, but I really started getting out there in 2015. So it's about 5 years now.
All right. How many people do you work with?
How many
people do you work with?
In terms of teachers or in schools? Are you talking about? So we're like a small team. So there are other teachers. At the moment, there are 3 other teachers, and we kind of go. It's not like we have a long term, and that's another thing. Things have kind of changed over the years, where a lot of schools, you know, it's more short term now. So they might call us in for a term, or one of workshops, and sometimes that might be, you know, every year. but it's never a thing where there's so many schools for the whole school year.
Yeah.
It's